Why are almost all circuit boards green? Open almost any electronic device, a laptop, a phone, an old radio, and you'll find the exact same thing. A deep green board covered in tiny silver pathways. It's so common that most people never question it. But they should, because that famous green surface isn't actually the circuit board at all. Peel it away, and underneath is a plain brown board that looks more like a piece of wood than the brain of a computer. So why did nearly every electronics manufacturer on Earth settle on green? The answer has almost nothing to do with computers. It involves the way human eyes detect flaws, a military innovation from the Cold War, and a manufacturing accident that quietly became the global standard. Once you know the real reason, you'll never look at the inside of your electronics the same way again. The sandwich nobody talks about. Before the color, there's the board itself. At its core, it's shockingly primitive. Wood fibers, resin pressed into a thin sheet. This is the substrate, and it's naturally brown, not green. Onto this, manufacturers glue a sheet of pure copper. Then they print a pattern, dunk the whole thing into acid, and watch the acid devour every part of the copper they don't need. What survives is a maze, a roadmap of copper traces carrying electricity to exactly where it needs to go. For decades, that was the entire board. Brown base, copper lines, nothing else. It worked until it didn't. The problem that nearly broke electronics, as machines shrank, the copper traces got thinner, closer together, more fragile, and fragile copper is dangerous. Exposed to air, it corrodes. Exposed to a soldering iron, it does something worse. During assembly, molten solder is poured across the board to fuse components in place, but without protection, tiny drops of that metal drift sideways. They bridge two traces that were never meant to touch. The result is a short circuit, and a short circuit can silently fry an entire device before it's even sold. Engineers needed a way to control exactly where the solder could land and where it absolutely could not. So in the late 1970s, they invented something new. A mask, the invisible armor. It's called a solder mask, a thin layer of pigmented resin painted over almost the entire board. It leaves gaps only where components need to connect. Everywhere else, it seals the copper away from oxygen, scratches, and stray solder. It does three jobs at once: stops corrosion, shields the traces, dams the solder exactly where engineers want it. And here's the twist. This mask can technically be any color. Apple has used matte black. Prototype boards are often blood red. Some military hardware uses blue or purple. So why does green dominate almost everything? Why is green the default, the standard, the assumption? The first clue isn't inside a lab. It's inside your own eyes. Human eye problem. Before machines could inspect circuit boards, humans did it, by hand, under a magnifying glass. For hours, it was brutal work. Eye strain was constant. Manufacturers needed a background color that made copper traces easy to spot, instantly, without headaches. They tested the raw brown resin first. It swallowed the copper into a blur. They tried red. It looked like rust, impossible to distinguish real defects from the color itself. They tried blue, too dark. Traces vanished into shadow. Then they tried green, and something clicked. Human vision, it turns out, is tuned to green more than any other color. Not by accident, by evolution. Biologists point to our primate ancestors, staring through dense jungle canopies for millions of years, needing to separate hundreds of shades of green just to survive, to spot predators, to find food. That ancient wiring never left us. Green is quite literally the color our eyes are built to read fastest. But eye comfort alone doesn't explain a global industry standard. The real lock-in came from somewhere far colder: the Cold War decision. 1954, the height of Cold War tension. The U.S. military ran classified trials, testing color combinations on equipment for maximum legibility, in daylight, in darkness, in combat conditions. Their conclusion: white text on a green background was the easiest combination to read under almost any lighting. At the time, the military wasn't just a customer, it was the customer, the single largest buyer of electronics on Earth. When the Pentagon demands green boards, factories don't argue. They comply. And once factories were already tooled, trained, and optimized for military spec green, something predictable happened. They didn't build a second production line for civilians. They just kept using the same green for everyone else. By the time automated inspection machines finally arrived, machines that didn't care what color anything was, it was already too late. The entire industry was locked in to chemical accident. Here's where it gets stranger. Green solder masks can reliably create incredibly tiny, precise gaps, as small as 0.1 millimeters. Red, yellow, and blue masks typically can't get tighter than 0.12 millimeters. Black and white are even less precise. For years, engineers assumed green pigment had some special chemical property, something in its molecular structure that made it superior. It didn't. Green wasn't better because of chemistry. Green was better because of money. Since green was already the dominant color, every research dollar, every formula tweak, every optimization for decades poured into perfecting green resin, while other colors were left untouched, underfunded, frozen in time. The superior color wasn't discovered, it was manufactured by decades of accumulated investment. Nobody planned to concentrate in one place. The color that refuses to die. So why, in 2026, with full-color automated inspection and zero human eye strain involved, does green still dominate? Inertia. Switching a factory from green to blue isn't like changing a paint color. It means shutting down entire production lines, scrubbing every trace of old resin from every machine, absorbing massive material waste. And for what? The board is going to live inside a sealed plastic case. Nobody will ever see it again. So companies do the math, and the math always says the same thing. Don't bother.
The bigger picture.
A circuit board's green isn't an aesthetic choice. It's not a brand decision. It's not even really about electronics. It's fossilized history. A frozen record of primate vision, Cold War paranoia, and decades of chemical R&D, all hiding in plain sight, inside a color you've probably never questioned once in your life. Next time you crack open a device and see that same forest green board staring back at you, you won't just see plastic and copper. You'll see millions of years of evolution. A Cold War military spec, and an industry too locked into its own history to ever look back. Thanks for watching all the way to the end. That already puts you ahead of most viewers. If you're curious about the hidden side of everyday things, subscribe for more and let me know in the comments what we should break down next.